All right. Hey, Dr. Ian here, Dr. Autoimmune, and we are doing it again. We are launching my DIY Reset Inflammation Program. So excited to be bringing this to you guys again. And one of the reasons why is because we have some amazing testimonials that I'm going to share with you from our last cohort that just went through this program, right? We are actually officially launching this as of tonight. But what we have to first start talking about besides, oh, what is the actual inflammation reset program? Is what is inflammation? How is that robbing the joy from you in your life? What are we going to start doing different than what you have been doing? And what are, again, the steps, right? What are the actual specific steps you're going to have to take? So I'm going to lay everything out for you guys because you can take this model and you can literally try to do this yourself. However, again, I've been in practice for 15 years. I've been working with only chronic and complex conditions. And I have learned the hard way that many times it is about the peeling the right layer of the onion. So again, as we get further down this lecture, we'll start talking about specifics and it'll help you guys understand, right, what's going to have to get done here to get you guys back on track. Okay? So again, my name is Dr. Ian. I practice functional medicine. I am a doctor of chiropractic. I also received my master's of science in human nutrition and functional medicine in 2014. I also that same year received a certification from the Institute for Functional Medicine. So I do have credentials in functional medicine, which is very few and far between because most people will actually say they do functional medicine, but I don't find that people put a lot of detail and time understanding the root causes behind the immune system and why it gets out of control. Now, you guys are probably going to notice that my voice is a little bit off. So I apologize, but just getting through COVID in our house. Woohoo! So much fun. So apologize as I grab that soda. So again, the reason why you guys hopefully are listening to this is right, not just you want to learn information, but you actually want to change your life. This is for those people that really actually want to change their life. The reason I say that is because many people, again, they want to change their life, but they don't have a path. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And really, again, what your guys' path has been is waxing and waning symptoms, right? Typically very common with inflammation. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. We have good days, we have bad days, right? We have a good week, we have a bad month. And that is classic for the ebb and flow of inflammation, especially with autoimmunity. But also what's going to happen here is you obviously you go to your doctor and they say, "Hey, what's going on?" "Well, I've got joint pain, I've got brain fog, I'm fatigued, I've got skin rashes, I've got this laundry list of symptoms." And either your doctor goes, "Well, we're going to run labs on you." And one, they don't find anything, right? So they say, "Oh, well, nothing we can do for you." I don't know if anybody's been there, done that. "Nothing we can do for you. Come back next year." Meanwhile, you're still suffering, right? And this is not in your head. But also, if they did diagnose you with a condition, right, with a condition, whether it be rheumatoid arthritis, whether it be polymyalgia rheumatica, right, fibromyalgia, whatever that diagnosis is, the only strategy they have is to block inflammation. So when you look at this, right, there's always going to be a reason upstream that's causing the inflammation. When you look at a rheumatology perspective, they are blocking the downstream inflammation. Now, if it didn't cause debilitating symptoms, that would be one thing. But drugs like Humira methotrexate, have a laundry list of symptoms. I know you guys have probably tried some of these medications, a laundry list of side effects. And here's one interesting fact. If one of the mechanisms for your inflammation is a imbalance in bacteria in your body, and when I mean your body, I mean your gut. If that's going to be one of the mechanisms that's provoking inflammation, I'm going to show you guys what that means on the whiteboard here in just a second. When you take immune suppressing drugs, you have just damned yourself to that diagnosis. Because what you've done is you've actually suppressed your immune system in responding to the infection. But these are not topics that are discussed in the rheumatologist's office. They're going to say, again, either you don't have something or you do, here's your drug, out the door. So whether it's prednisone or Humira or methotrexate, it doesn't add up from a physiologic perspective, a biochemical perspective. Again, let me explain this, okay? You guys all heard of C-reactive protein? Everybody heard of CRP? So CRP, right? And remember, we always want to test HS, CRP. Always, always, always should be less than 1.0. That's right, less than 1.0, okay? So this stems from chemicals. C-reactive protein is made in your liver. It will always be made in your liver. But its production is triggered by 3 separate chemicals. They're called cytokines. Interleukin 1, interleukin 6, TNF alpha. Now, what triggers this? Right? This is what we're going to do. We're just going to go backwards, okay? So you guys can actually understand how inflammation begins. Because look, you guys, you can take fish oil, you can take boswellia, you can take turmeric, you can take aspirin, Tylenol, right? Meloxicam. But if you're not figuring out where the inflammation is coming from, you are inefficient. You're not treating the right things, which means we're using Band-Aids. Okay? So interleukin 1, interleukin 6, TNF alpha, they come from the stimulation of toll-like receptors. Toll-like receptors, mainly 2 and 4. Where do we find those in the human body? The receptors, right? On cells found mainly on mucosal surfaces. Mucosal surfaces. That right there is key. There is no other tissue in the human body that has the density of immune system activity and the ability to communicate than mucosal surfaces. So the question then should be, what mucosal surface? Well, this, that's where toll-like receptors are concentrated. I hope you guys are following this. This is really important. This is probably the most important aspect of this lecture right now. Because again, right? Mucosal surfaces. So now the question is, what drives mucosal surfaces bananas? What is making your mucosal surface Crazy. The thing is, you guys don't have to have an elevated C-reactive protein, okay? Because some of you guys won't. But there are other chemicals, NF-kappa B, and the symptoms are going to be the same. It's just that it so happens that many people do have elevated C-reactive protein. So now the question again becomes is if we know that there's specific triggers driving activation of mucosal surfaces, which again, most of that's right here. Why isn't your doctor talking to you about what's causing your inflammation? And really, this just goes back to the fact that, look, certain things will promote inflammation, certain things are going to reduce inflammation. But the only thing that's neutral out there is water, unless you're drinking that crazy, like pH 12 water. That stuff is goofy. Don't do that. So, this is basically the functional medicine process. Understanding what your triggers are is what's going to cause things like leaky gut. Triggers would also include things like antibiotics, steroid therapy, proton pump inhibitors, right? Acid blocking medication. The vast majority of people, if you think of that, ask yourself, how many rounds of antibiotics have you done in your lifetime? The reason why I ask you that is for most people that have chronic inflammation, chronic brain fog, joint pain, fatigue, they've had multiple rounds of medications, consistent symptoms. Again, it waxes and it wanes, right? They can't get relief, or they've tried drugs and they may not be working that well, or they're worried about the side effects of those drugs, right? But what's not happening here is going deeper into what those triggers are. That's what's going to change your life. And that is what the DIY inflammation reset program is. So let's talk about some of those triggers, right? The number one, right, is going to be diet. Can't get away from it. Remember, your diet is feeding beneficial microbes. So you're regulating your immune system because that's what your beneficial microbes do. They regulate your immune system, which means they regulate inflammation. So your diet through vegetable fiber is providing something called short chain fatty acids. An example of that would be called butyrate. You can take butyrate as a supplement, but the problem is you lose any color. You lose the phytonutrients. You lose the nutrient density. The problem is, again, we as a society, we emphasize 30-day diets. We don't emphasize a relationship with your diet. You need to have a relationship with your food that is your relationship, not your husband's, not your brother's, not your cousin's, not your uncle, because your food sensitivities can be different than another person, right? What you need to be consuming on a daily basis may be different from person to person. But the diet, again, especially America's, quite frankly, terrible, is the reason, right, that you will stimulate these mucosal surfaces. If you're eating refined and non-complex carbohydrates, you are triggering inflammation in your gut. That is dragging your immune system down. That is provoking fatigue. That is provoking joint pain. Look, guys, if you have rheumatoid arthritis, look, it's just a severe form of joint pain. It just means you've got terrible, severe leaky gut. And as all that stuff gets into your circulation, you just cross react against your joint tissue. And look, there's 100 different autoimmune conditions out there, right? And I've seen over 2,000 cases of autoimmunity now in my career go into remission. The single thing that I can ascribe to that was life-changing is the diet. So the question is, well, what kind of diet, doc? Okay. Protein, vegetables, and fruit. That's it. Yes, you need to eat meat. Yes, you need to eat greens. No, white potatoes don't count. Okay? Because again, some of you would be shocked to know that certain root vegetables spike your blood sugar. And spiking your blood sugar consistently, again, it's another trigger. If your blood sugar is going up and down, up and down, up and down, you're having to use hormones, insulin, and cortisol to stabilize your blood sugar. So not only do we have to know, right, how to eat, what to eat, we also absolutely want to know how is our blood sugar impacted by the foods that we're consuming on a regular basis. That's life-changing information right there. What else? What else are triggers? How about lack of activity? Okay. How about poor sleep? Okay. How about the fact if you have inflammation? So inflammation begets more inflammation as well. I know that's tough. And it does do damage to your tissues over time, which is why I'm encouraging everyone to get serious about this. So let's talk a little bit about more specifically, because we're talking about these triggers, but let's talk a little bit more about what we designed and why we designed it. So like I said, this is the second time we're launching our program. The big change that we've got going on with this program is we are adding a continuous glucose monitor. So I think for me, microbes, imbalances in microbes, and blood sugar, top two triggers I've seen in my lifetime for clients that I've worked with. So this is called a Freestyle Libre 3. And this device has a sensor built into it. And you put this either abdomen, put this on your arm, and this will actually route your blood sugar numbers to your smartphone. And you know in real time what your diet is doing to you. So part of the program, what we're doing is 30 days. After that, since you're buying a year membership, you can buy a sensor as you go. $75 a sensor. And this guy is $299. Now that's in addition to the program. You don't have to buy this to do our inflammation reset program. Just so you understand that. I want to make that clear. But the cool thing is, we're going to be teaching based off the information and showing you guys what this data means so you can learn from it and make better choices from it. That's the whole point. It's accountability and it's feedback. Besides that, what else we have going on? Well, it's 4 1 hour to 1.5 hour sessions. 2 with one of my personal friends and a colleague. Her name is Stevie Chaddock. And she has her master's in nutrition. And she's going to lead the first 2 sessions. So this program, again, is a month long. But the point of it is we're kicking off the first 2 sessions with Stevie, and she is going to basically lead you through the most difficult part, which it's the diet. It always is. And it's your relationship with your diet. It's the difficult part. So on a Thursday, that'll be starting next Thursday, okay? Not this Thursday, but the next Thursday, we'll have that first session, and then it's going to go like that for 3 more sessions. So total of 4. She'll do the first 2. I'm going to do the last 2. My sessions are going to be a little bit more integrated into the functional medicine piece, talking more about microbes, talking a little bit more about different supplementation, talking about detoxification, how to do that appropriately, how not to hurt yourself with detoxification, because it is easy to hurt yourself if you don't know what you're doing. And of course, we have our diet guide. So this is a 42-page guide, and this has a 30-day meal plan recipe, shopping list, yes, no food list. It is extensive. So this is a PDF that you'll be downloading. You can print it out if you want, but nobody has to print it out. Okay, save a tree. But the point is this is your reference guide during this period of time. There are other handouts we will give you, but this is a very, very dense recommendation of how to go through the full month. The feedback in general, guys, just so you know, is that it's challenging, but it's totally doable because you have other people doing it with you, i.e., there'll be a Facebook support group. We'll both be monitoring it. We're going to be adding content to that Facebook support group. We'll answer your questions on the Facebook support group. And then during the live sessions, of course, we're going to do Q&As at the end. And that's where we are getting clinical with you guys and answering those questions, doing the best we can to really meet you where you're at, even though we're not necessarily doing a one-on-one session. Beyond that, there's going to be a video sent out every week about, hey, here's what's coming at you. And then, of course, don't forget we have a supplementation program. So that is 5 different supplements. It's going to actually be 2 each of this. It's called Collagen Power. This is the best collagen I've been able to find on the market. 3 peer-reviewed collagen peptides in this product. This stuff is amazing. You can put it in anything and it'll break down. And again, I've got a ton of positive feedback off of this product alone. So there's 2 of these, because 1 scoop twice a day will last for 15 days. Then you have something called Prebio Power. It's a prebiotic. So again, one of the things that we can do to modulate inflammation, right, is to calm down these toll-like receptors. Again, that's going to happen through prebiotic fiber. So this is called modified guar gum. And modified guar gum is a non-bloating form of a prebiotic. So you don't die, because a lot of times if you take a lot of prebiotics and you weren't used to that, it is painful. So this is, again, the best product that I've been able to find. We've custom formulated this, and that's also going to be part of the program, and you're getting 2 of those. There are 3 other things. So this is one, it's called Methyl Power. So if you guys are not aware, up to 43% of the United States population have genetic defects in a gene called MTHFR. It's called the mother effer gene. Basically, what that means is that certain people are not converting B vitamins well. The reason why we use this is this has the activated forms of those B vitamins, the methylated versions. So that's really important, not just for detox, but for your mitochondria. Your mitochondria is what's producing energy, and you have to make sure they have the right nutrients to do that. This right here is called Amano Power. Amano Power is all the nutrients that are not just anti-inflammatory, but they're very specific to what we call T regulatory cells. T regulatory cells regulate. So these are explicitly involved in autoimmune and inflammatory conditions, and specific nutrients target those T regulatory cells. Probiotics. So this has 3 probiotics specific to a chemical called interleukin 10, alpha lipoic acid, green tea in the form of EGCG, it's decaf green tea, vitamin A, K, and D. Vitamin D is anti-inflammatory. Vitamin D inhibits NF-kappa B. If you guys want to know what nutrients to take, you just have to go typically look into Fox News, CNN, and whatever they're poo-pooing, whatever they're bad-mouthing, that's what they're worried about because of the efficacy and the track record. So they're trying to create doubt and confusion, especially recently with vitamin D. But there's nothing that they have that's even close to the power of something like vitamin D. So Amano Power is another one that we use. And then lastly, this is called Gut Power. Gut Power is a hydrochloric acid zinc carnosine. So it's an enzyme with zinc carnosine. Zinc carnosine is there to help heal leaky gut. So again, leaky gut is one of the gateways of inflammation. We're not going to go into that heavily tonight. But like I said, the reset program, to recap, it's going to be 4 sessions. It's going to be, those will be recorded and sent to you after the session's done. It's going to be a dietary guide. It's going to be videos that you'll get as far as to update you, let you guys know what's coming at you, right? We've got the supplementation, Facebook support group. And again, the last thing, like I mentioned, optionally, continuous glucose monitor. So that's the exciting part. I'm super pumped for this. We've been using CGMs for 2 years now in practice. They're amazing. I've learned already a ton about myself and how I've reacted to foods. It's just nice not to have to guess. You test, and then you know where you're at. So I wanted to take a quick, and by the way, guys, this is in the chat. And then for all you TikTokers, if you guys are interested in this program, again, that is in the link tree and the bio. Okay. So that's where you would actually go to purchase. So wanted to actually read just a couple testimonials. We've had some pretty amazing testimonials from the last program. And one of those was from a gal named Jennifer. She says, "Hello, here's my story. About 5 years ago, during a hugely stressful time in my life, I woke up with incredible pain in my hips and shoulders, which continued to worsen. I did physical therapy, no help. I went to a rheumatologist who did blood work. All looked fine. He finally diagnosed me with polymyalgia rheumatica, which is inflammation of the tendons at the hips and shoulders. It is an autoimmune disease, and she is right about that. He prescribed me prednisone and said it would most likely go away within 2 years. It didn't. I've tried so many things, from taking sugar out of my diet, good idea, low dose naltrexone, LDN, cold therapy, taking gluten out of my diet, hormones, and on and on. Prednisone and keeping my body moving were the only things that alleviated the pain. Prednisone is bad news, but pain sucks too. I am taking the Dr. Autoimmune program seriously. I've been on the elimination diet for 3 weeks, and my pain has subsided quite a bit. I'm actually nervous about adding foods back into my diet. I'm still doing some ibuprofen at night, but this is the first time in 5 years without debilitating hip pain. Now, this is now her 8-week check-in. So I am 8 weeks into my journey with Dr. Ian. For the last 3 weeks, I am pain-free after having 5 years of inflammation and joint pain due to polymyalgia rheumatica. I have taken the test, followed the elimination diet, taken the supplements. Hooray! Still more work to do, but this works, and all the meds that rheumatologists prescribed me don't. So that's what we're expecting for people. We are expecting a miracle. We are expecting people to change their life. And we want you to join us. But you're going to have to be willing to change, and change is hard. But like I said, change is a lot harder if you don't have someone showing you what needs to change. Right? So there are more testimonials, but I thought that one was great. So the other thing that I should mention is, if you broke this down into individual services, what would this actually cost, right? So Facebook group, you call 150 on that, get access. 2x sessions with Stevie, that would normally be $750. 2x sessions with me, Dr. Ian, that's going to be $1,200 typically, $600 per. Okay, 42 page guide. It's normally priced at $500. The 3-month CGM. 1 month CGM plus coaching. Okay, put that at $600. So that is $36.75 right there. $3,675. And we are not charging that. We are charging $699. So this program has a price of $699. And that may be a lot, but the question is, what are your alternatives? I mean, if you don't have insurance and you want to do Humira, that's $8,000 an injection. If you want to hit your deductible every year for the rest of your life, or at least until you hit Medicare, average deductible in the United States is $4,800. Thank you. I thought that was that is a good price. But the point, and one of the major reasons why we wanted to actually put this program together, is because for many people in this country, whether that be not just politics or inflation, is that Americans are under pressure financially, more so than ever. And a lot of people can't afford functional medicine. And I consistently hear that over and over again when I'm doing my lives. So I said, you know what? I'm going to design a functional medicine program. And here it is. So the only other thing to mention, okay, is that we have 50 slots. And they're going to they will sell out. So that's exciting for us, but I don't want you guys to miss out. So the card is open right now. You guys can take advantage of that. Sign up. You guys will start getting actual follow-up email. There'll be some basics that will come at you that will kick off the supplements to be mailed out to you as well. It's going to start the whole process. If you get the continuous glucose monitor, it takes usually about a week for that to show up. We have to go on our back end, we enter it in, and then it gets drop shipped to you. But the point is that this is an opportunity for you guys to change your life. If you are done with the fatigue, and if you are done with the brain fog, and if you are done with not being the best version of yourself, this is going to be one way for you guys to get out of that pattern. Okay? So again, just to reiterate, if we want to go after inflammation, we have to go after the root causes of inflammation. To be able to do that, you're going to have to look at your lifestyle. You're going to have to look at things like your diet. You're going to have to be taking the right supplementation. You need to start looking at your lifestyle. But as you make these changes, you will change. And your symptoms will improve. And you hopefully are going to be really, really excited to be living the life that you've wanted. And I'm going to be so blessed to be able to help you guys go through that process. Again, my name is Dr. Ian. I practice this amazing thing called functional medicine. And again, I thank you so much for coming and listening to this presentation. Again, Cheryl, thank you so much. I appreciate that comment. Cheryl says this program is amazing. I did the last program. Cheryl, love you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Yep. So again, in the chat right here, guys, you can see it's a my Shopify link. You can grab that link right there. And that'll take you directly to the page as far as where you sign up. But other than that, what else is holding you back? If you have questions, please, we're open to that. The cart will close Friday. So Friday is the last day to sign up. Okay? Okay. Again, guys, God bless you. Thank you so much. It's been a treat.